then we have done finite element analysis on them, and then we have done compression testing on these models using a regular conventional compression test we have done to find out how much load it can withstand, and found out which model of that unit cell is better than the other unit cell, so that that can be adopted for your micro air vehicles. You can use it. So this is the FDM setup we have used here. Farman we have used and produced this part. SLA with PLA, SLA with ABS, S2 with PLA and S2 with ABS. These are different unit cell structures we produce, and find out which is the best structure you can adopt for your wing of your MEA micro air vehicle aircraft. So done the compression test, and we found this S1 with PLA is giving better results than the other models. This is how you can do your research. So in sports industry also 3D printing is now used a lot. Like in cricket, these terms nowadays are used. It's called zinc wicket system. This is developed by an Australian sports person. It's called Bront Eckerman. He developed this. Where the importance of this is the stump glows whenever it is hit by a ball. So it will help the two people. It will make an aesthetic sense. That is, person who is spectator is seeing in the stadium. No, it is a very dark day and night match. These bails will glow and fly away. So it will bring some kind of interest for the spectator. This was actually first time used in Australian domestic cricket in 2015 for day and night match, and then it became popular. Now it is used all international matches, starting from T20 Test match, one day everywhere it is used. This kind of wicket system called zinc wicket system. Imagine how you put these LED lights in this stump. It's very difficult using conventional method. Using 3D print technology, you can make it, and it is the work contribution by Bront Eckerman. You developed this called zinc wicket system. It is now used everywhere. So 3D printing in sports industry. Even Reebok, it developed its shoes, new shoes called Liquid Speed. The shoes is designed for distance running, cardio workouts, and comfort. What is the goodness of these shoes is it is made with some particular proprietary material called urethane based liquid. They used one, they developed their own 3D print technology for making this. This become outsole, and this is integrated with the your what you call your lace. You are right. So it is integrated with your shoelace, and so that when you tie your shoelace, this becomes tight and it will grip your leg a lot. And when you start running, no, automatically what happens? It will give a what you call a back pressure to the person who is running. It will give a lot of comfort to his to the athletic, and he can run fast. So this is what they use this technology. So Reebok used this technology earlier. They used to make using conventional molds. They used to make the shoes. Now they are using this technology for making that type of shoes. Reebok technology. This is the regular mold making they used to follow for making the outer shoes. This is the robotic arm technology developed 3D printing. Is an extrusion process. You can see this is how the outer sole was made for this particular part. See how it integrates with the lace of the shoes. So all this Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, everyone is using this technology for making these state-of-the-art shoes. That's why they are costlier. They produce midsoles, uppers, etc. They adopt technologies like direct laser sintering, selective laser sintering, stereolithography apparatus, material extrusion. They adopt different materials for making those shoes. So you can see how sports industries are also adopting this 3D print technology a lot. Now in entertainment, film industry also, you can see such kind of all these movies, they use 3D printing. Like Avatar, they use 3D print technology. Hulk, they use 3D print technology. Pacific Rim, they use 3D print technology. Man of the Steel, Iron Man 1, 2, 3, or the Lord of the Rings, all that war weapons they used in the movie, entire thing. That's the grandeur that brought to the movie making industry. Now movie making is becoming, story is not great, but story is simple, but the way it is shown on the screen is ultimate, and you feel natural, you feel more realistic. Earlier, when they used to use the computer graphics, what they used to feel is the audience used to say, okay, this is graphics. But now audience want to have something more realistic. So using the 3D print technology, they are able to produce such a huge robots, etc. In Pacific Rim movie, you might have seen the huge robots, and the Jurassic Part first movie also, they used stereolithography apparatus for making the horn of the dinosaurs, etc. I hope if you see the clipping, you will understand that. So all this movie making, they use the studio called Legacy Studio, where these things are used. 3D printing is revolutionizing special effects, legacy effects, you call it as. So you can go with your story to that studio. He will make whatever creature you want. Use 3D printing. They used FDM. They use object polyjet machines. They use all this. See how you are using your CAD knowledge for making all these models in your company. See how many engineers are working in this entertainment industry. So this creatures, creating these creatures is not that easy. You see, like you see Terminator, all the robots, they are made using 3D print technology. Like you see uh, in a what you call Star Trek or movie or Star Wars movie, all this particular image, all these actual suits, everything you can make using this 3D print technology. See the Iron Man, entire thing they used FDM 3D printer PLA material, but they coated painting it is done, so it appears like a real metal only. Like Zero Dark 30, another very interesting movie that was based on Osama bin Laden, how the US Navy went and catch hold of him and killed him. So in that case, they want to have this Navy SEALs night vision goggles as it is. They want to buy it, but actually original one was costing 60,000 rupees. So they have scanned the entire thing. They produce a replica of that using the FDM technology. They produced that one, and that was very famous in that movie, right? Similar Hobbit trial, all these weapons, all these masks, etc. They produced. And what they used to do is they used to scan the actual actors, and based on the scanning, they used to develop the actual actor image, small part, small image, 3D model of that actor. That is called figurines. And they used to produce, they used to create the war field like that. Actually, if there is time, I would have shown that video also how that entire war scenario was created using the this 3D print technology. All the figurines they will produce, and then different scenes they'll create, and they'll record it, and they use some animation. They make it realistic, like realistic. All these weapons, like Guardians of Galaxy, all these weapons are made using 3D print technology method. So Maleficent, all these are some of the popular movies they use. Even in food processing industry, 3D printing became very popular. They use binder jetting, material jetting, and indirect mold process, etc. Right. So you can see here, NASA is now planning to use this 3D print technology for, as I said, they are sending astronauts to Mars. They have to stay there for 1 to 2 years. So how to supply food for them? So now they are trying to develop a 3D printer which will produce pizzas for them, which will produce pastries with all the effect nutrients. What do you think is I can produce 4 nozzles in my 3D printer. One nozzle will give protein, one nozzle will give fiber, one nozzle will give some carbohydrate, everything. All of them gets mixed up, and you get one pizza, or you get one pastry, etc. Then the astronauts can eat it in the Mars. So this is what the NASA next project. Actually, they have given this thing to Systems and Metals Research Corporation. They are developing the 3D print technology for this. Right? You can see how NASA has 3D printed food you can produce. Because in a space, no, you want to send it, no, you have to make everything in the powder format. So these are food sources which will perish easily. So you can make what you call, you can make a powder of all these food particles. Then you put in the nozzles, extrusion nozzles. Now you can print. They can have 3 to 4 years life. So now NASA is using this technology for making such kind of things. Right. So this is how 3D printing in food. In jewelry industry also 3D printing is used a lot. There are two ways you can produce jewelry. Nowadays, every big jewelry maker like Lalita Jewelers, you might have asked, or other jewelries outside, which are very famous now, they all use 3D print technology for making such innovative jewelry. Either they go for investment casting or direct printing. Investment casting is, traditional investment casting where you can make the pattern using the 3D print technology. You can make the pattern, any complex pattern you can make 3D printing, and you can make the mold assembly, and you can dip in the slurry and you get the required coating outside that. Once you get the required coating, you burn out. This wax pattern, which is produced using 3D print technology, will be dried out. Once you remove it, inside this you pour actual gold liquid, then you get the part out. This is a cheaper way of producing jewelry using 3D print technology. Indirect tooling it is called. But other method is directly you can take a powder one. The famous investment indirect way of producing jewelry using 3D technology, the SLA and DLP. They use this technology. They are cheaper. But now the people are adopting even the direct method of producing using DMLS or SLM technology. You can produce this parts. Sorry,
Sir,
over. Sorry. So
conclude,
right,
sir.
conclude. Right.
Sir.
So this you can produce using this powder-based technique. Right. So finally, what I want to underline here is 3D printing, how you can use for different technologies. So like is electronic industry also you can produce with all the printed circuits, civil industry you can produce, right? So in interior design, what next is 4D printing. So finally, I would like to thank my director, Srinivasulu, my principal for helping me carrying out this research work. I also thank my students who were part of this work. I thank my team of doctors who worked along with me in solving such interesting case studies. So if you have any queries, you can ask. This is my contact information. So next November 2nd to 6th, we are conducting dedicated Atal program on 3D printing and design. So interested participants, you can join there. We have another 10 seats left. So thank you, Srinivas sir, for giving the opportunity to share what are the experience I got in 3D. Thank you very much.
So thank you, sir. That was a very
Thank you so
enriching
much, sir.
lecture on 3D printing in the area of biomedical field, sir. You have demonstrated with live applications. Certainly, sir, innovative things are possible with 3D printing, and it enables us to design the customized products.
Yeah.
And as you said, the knowledge of biomedical combined with mechanical engineering can deliver state-of-art products.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Thank
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
This is
Any
Thank you, sir.
question? Any question?
There is a problem, network
Sir,
problem for
once
the manager. Okay.
Any question?
good morning, sir.
Please,
Okay.
Sir,
Doragar.
hello.
good morning.
Yes,
Good morning,
please.
sir.
Good morning.
This is Krishnamurti speaking, sir.
Please tell me.
HK Dora.
Please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Very, very interesting and
Yes,
very innovative lecture, sir. And we have actually got a full knowledge about this 3D printing technology.
Yeah.
So what I was recently, I was also in care hospital for some medical treatment. And one of the cardiologists was discussing about the same thing. I think I did not understand that time. He wanted to develop some model of the heart and then develop something. He was referring that he is a mechanical engineer. He can do it and give it for us. He was telling to other doctor. But I did not understand exactly what he was asking for that question. So, but definitely today I understood that you have already worked with the doctors and given the solutions to them. So I understand that you can even give solutions to the cardiologists, even to anybody for that matter, any medical doctor or.
Already we are doing a lot of live case studies with a lot of doctors. Depending on their application requirement, we are doing that.
It's a very great technology, sir. We are able to help the doctors in saving the lives and making the life better. So we are very proud of you, technology.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for sparing your valuable time. That too, early in the morning, you got up and then came and joined our session. Today is the first day we have started our session at 9 o'clock itself. So thank you very much, sir. I must thank Dr. Sivaramakrishna for accepting my invitation with a short span of time of 10 hours in advance. I am very much thankful to you, sir. Because of some schedule, we could not get expert from IIT Hyderabad, Dr. S. Suryakumar. So that's the reason why I asked him. So immediately he accepted his my invitation because of my rapport with the Sivaramakrishna sir. So thank you so much, sir. So nice of you, sir, for accepting our invitation and delivering expert lecture on 3D printing with the case studies live. So that is very happy to see the presentation by you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now we'll have a session on stress management for teachers. It's hardly some half an hour job. Another expert is waiting, so he'll be joining us. Okay. Thank you. You know. Very good afternoon to all of you. Presentation. Can you able to see the screen? Yes, please. Can you hear me?
We are able to see and hear you, sir. We are able to see and hear you.
How about the presentation?
Presentation is not yet visible, sir.
Okay. Now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, being teachers, we should know what are the causes of the stress that we are experiencing in day-to-day life in our college or schools. So a small attempt has been made exclusively on teachers on stress management. So I am Dr. N.V. Srinivasulu, Coordinator and Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Chaitanya Bharat Institute of Technology, Gandipet, Hyderabad 75. So my mail ID is this. Now, no one is ever really taught by another. Each of us has to teach himself. This is a quotation from Swami Vivekananda. No one is ever really taught by another. Each of us has to teach himself. So by experience, you have to get expertise and then you have to teach yourself this is the wrong path, this is the right path, and then you have to go ahead. So everything cannot be taught by parents or guru or somebody else. So you have to teach yourself. That is one of the important quote given by Swami Vivekananda. The external teacher offers only the suggestion. Anybody who is known to you as guru or parents or neighbor or friends, they will only give you suggestions, but whether the suggestion given by them is correct or not, you have to judge yourself. Then only you will come up in the life and you will be leading your life happily and prosperous. So now the external teacher offers only the suggestion which arouses the internal teacher who help us to understand things. So you yourself should judge whether the suggestions given by others is good or not. Can I go ahead like this? You have to evolve yourself and then go for it. Now, basically, before I go for stress management, what is a teacher? In my experience, the abbreviation will stands for T stands for talented, trustworthy. These are the qualities one should possess if you want to continue as a teacher. He's an excellent, enthusiastic person, adorable and active person. He must be creative, cool and character. A good character should have. Humble and humorous. Otherwise, you cannot manage the show in the classroom of 1 hour. You must be humorous and also you must be able to guide them properly. encourage them and with eagerness, then only they will be able to attract towards you, your teaching, and then they will be gaining some knowledge on that particular subject. You must be responsible, resourceful, and respectful. If the class is not innovative and if you are not quoting practical examples, or if you are not giving them correct knowledge, then what happens? The people will not be attentive in the class, and they will be detracted, and they will not be attentive in the class. So that's the reason why try to be innovative. For example, when you are teaching additive manufacturing, you give introduction to additive manufacturing, and the case studies of Sivaramakrishna is shared to the students, then they will be motivated and innovated. They will also think in that particular direction. That is the most important quality one should possess to make the students alive and also attract to the concept of teaching. Now, our president of CBIT used to quote these words whenever he comes to the meeting, and he will be saying there are different types of teachers in the society. Now, this is a very good quoting given by our Malakonda Reddy Garu. He has written the poem, the invocation poem, which we have played at the age of 8 years. He is a Kavi Kiriti, Dr. V. Malakonda Reddy Garu. He is of 94 years old. He has quoted these types of teachers. So one should know as a teacher and how you are going to fit in this type of 6 teachers. The teacher who gives you information is called Adhyapak. So just he will give the information from the basic textbook, and he will share the knowledge to the students. He is called Adhyapak. Upadhyaya is one who imparts knowledge combined with information. So that is another second category. Acharya is one who imparts skills. So that is also another classification. We have Pandit. Is a person who is able to give deep insight into a subject, then he becomes Pandit. For example, Sivaramakrishna has given not only the introduction to the topic, as well as he has given insight how this particular additive manufacturing is applied in day-to-day life, how his domain knowledge is useful to the society. That way, he may be called as Pandit. Now, Drishta is one who is a visionary on a subject and teaches you to think in that manner. So now, some of the people who have shared their expertise in the previous sessions, they have given wide experience and expertise and shared to you, and they also comes under Pandit and Drishta. And last one is Guru, is a person who is able to awaken the wisdom in you, leading you from darkness to light. Now, Ravi Shankar Garu, so he is also one of the person under this category. Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna, all come under Guru. We cannot reach to that level of expectation of Guru, but at least you have to have the classification of teachers in, so that how best you are going to teach to the students is most important, and it is our duty when you are in the classroom. Now, what are the skills? That there are many skills possessed by a teacher, but I am quoting very few here. Your communication skills must be good, and you are supposed to have, and then you should have good collaboration with the industry and the society, then only you can share. Now, for example, you are teaching to a computer science student once a particular subject. Then you must give an advantage of what the mechanical engineers are doing, what the labs are there. Whenever you feel free or they are free, ask them to visit your own lab and then tell, so that a computer science or IT fellows will know what is happening in the labs and how they are going to be useful in the society or when they go and work in the workplace. So now you should have more patience. That is the most important skill of a teacher. If you don't have patience, then you will have more stress in your day-to-day life. So you have to, first you must be a good listener to the students. If anybody asks any doubt, maybe irrelevant or relevant, you first listen to it and then try to say this particular topic is out of our topic, or you can share some of the views on that. Then only you will be appreciated and the people will be motivated. Otherwise, if you don't encourage doubts in the classroom, then they'll say that he is a bad teacher and doesn't know anything. This is the comment that will be spread in the campus. Creativity, that's most important. Everybody, you should have some creative mind. As a teacher, if you have, then you can develop the creativity among the students in the classroom. What is creativity? Anything, whatever it is, you must be unique in nature. Then you must contribute something to the society with your domain knowledge. So in what way, whatever it is, for example, you must be creative. So try to be a NSS officer, or try to be in extra co-curricular activities, or share something what is happening in the relevant society to the students. What is happening? What are the news? Just like that, you can discuss them about the happenings in day-to-day life in this, because most of the students nowadays, the attitude has been changed like anything. 90% of the students are not at all reading the newspapers. They don't have any knowledge. Some of them doesn't have political knowledge or academic knowledge. They'll be very good at academic percentages, but they don't know anything. But you have to inculcate the habit of this. You ask several number of times, then they will come to conclusion. Yes, this is a necessity. That's the reason why teacher is saying, why can't we go like this? So you should have likable personality. So you must be on time to the class and then discuss with them. And then if there are any problems, try to counsel them. Then naturally they will be attracting and they will be liking your personality. Self-discipline, that's what I'm telling you. Whenever you are not on time, so then naturally the people will be roaming out, and then it is a bad remark for you and also for the students. So therefore, those are some of the qualities I want to say about a teacher. Now, coming to the topic, stress management for teachers, why it is important and why, how to reduce this. Now, students in a college or school are well aware of mental and physical state of their teachers. Yes, they'll be assessing you every moment when you are in the campus, when you are going out or going to the library or going to the canteen. Everyone will be appreciating. They seem to be recognize the importance of well-being and stress management in learning. So now what happens, now I'll tell you one thing. I taught one of the student in computer science engineering drawing almost 12 years back. When I was traveling in the metro train, suddenly the girl has come. So now she's not a girl, she's a lady with a kid came. Sir, you are a teacher of CBIT. Do you know? Yes. Then how did you come to know? You taught me engineering graphics and its relevance to the society and also to us. I was very much impressive. So then, see, after 12 years, she could able to come and wish and then share her experience in the college days. So that is the most important. So whenever you are there as a teacher, they remember you. We may not remember their faces, but they will remember us. Taking time to manage your stress is essential in order to teach effectively. If you are not calm and if your mind is not good a position, you cannot share whatever the knowledge you have. If you have your own personal problems or family problems or financial problems, all 8 sectors of life which I had taught you in the last class, if you are suffering from that, then you cannot impart knowledge to effectively to the students. So therefore, help the students with their stress around learning how to be active in the class. Also, you can discuss sometime. So I'm not saying you have to contribute your teaching in the subject as well as you have to interact with them so that they'll be familiar with you and also they like you. Now, what is the stress? Stress is typically defined as physical and psychological negative responses, which we have discussed in detail in the last class, such as anger, depression, or teachers have as a result of. So now what happens here is you must not be anger at the students when you are in the campus. So you must be always friendly and also you have to have control over the students. So the recent studies found that the general cause of teacher stress and burnout are related to lack of strong leadership and a negative climate, as well as increased job demands, especially around testing, addressing challenging student behaviors. A lack of autonomy, decision-making power may also cause stress. One of the major observations which I have seen in the regular day-to-day life in recent times, the students are not attentive to learn the subject. What is the reason why is all the students, irrespective of the discipline, are getting absorbed or placed in software companies. That's the reason why the day one they'll feel what is the necessity of learning the mechanical engineering or electrical engineering or electronics engineering, because we are going to work in a software industry after our graduation. That attitude should be removed. So you have to stress your subject relate to that, how it is going to work, how it is going to be used in your software industry also. So that's the reason why the people will not be attentive in the class, and then that will be the negative climate among all the students. So that you have to slowly show that this particular subject is so important and it will be useful for you. Like this, you have to have innovative way of teaching. And researchers have found that 94% of middle class teachers experience high level of stress, which could contribute to negative outcomes for the students. So being we are teachers teaching the professional students, so therefore we have very less stress compared to others. And also say that reducing the burden of teaching experience so many teachers is critical to improve student success both academically and behaviorally. So this is most important. In some private engineering colleges, the teachers ratio, the student teacher ratio is high. Therefore, what happens? They'll be burdened with 3 or 4 theory subjects. So naturally, they will not able to put more effort to teach the subjects. That's the reason why there will be failures, and also students will not be attracted to the teaching, and teachers are also have overburdened with labs and theories. That's why they will not be doing the justice to the job. Now I want to say a toolkit with the 4 strategies for coping up with the stress which you are going to face in the day-to-day teaching. One is avoid, alter, accept, and adopt. So try to avoid the misunderstanding, and also try to avoid the changes or whatever you want to say going in the wrong direction. Alter it. Already I have quoted, if you cannot change, you change the attitude or you change the direction to solve the problem. So always you have to accept whatever that is there. You accept and then go for a good move. Then you must be able to adopt to the technology changes or adopt to the situations. Then only you can come out of the stress. Now, what is the teachers does? Remember why you teach. I teach in order to make a difference for children and to share myself with the world. This is the most important concept. I keep these reasons for teaching close to my heart. This is close to my heart means if you are committed, if you are doing the justice, and if you are putting effort, and then the students will not misbehave in the class and they will be keeping quiet and they will try to learn. Now, what is the reason why? Because some of the teachers, very few of the teachers are going without preparation. Therefore, they'll be moving around. Some teachers will take the students to America or abroad, and then they will come back to the situation at the end of the classroom. So that is not the way. If it is relevant, then share that particular experience. Otherwise, try to stick to the effectively, then naturally you can make the students more effective and good citizens of the country. What brings stress for the teachers? Wearing too many hats can be really fun, but stressful too. So nowadays, we have more responsibilities like class monitoring, class teachers, responsibility of mentors, our parents' interaction, so projects, and then FDPs, or some other things. Like this, there are so many activities or responsibility as teachers, which also makes the person's stress. So that you have to control. So as an educator in action, we play many roles at the same time. Yeah, what are the roles I am going to discuss? We are caregivers, we are counselors, we are pencil pushers, we are coaches, administrators, program designers, trainers, facilitators. So these are the things which we have. These are the responsibility which a teacher has. Naturally, everyone will be under tension. As teachers, we are models of good behavior. Already I told you qualities of a teacher. So if you are good behavior in the classroom, naturally they will also learn from us. We dress up, we speak right, we act right, we live right, we bring home our work, and the list goes on. So we are unable to complete the work at college or school. Naturally, we'll be bringing home the same work, and then we'll be not compensating or happily living with the family. So we are bringing home the work. Now, 5 common teaching styles which we have: authority or lecture style. So now some of the teachers will go and then stand on the dais and they'll be teaching irrespective whether they are following or not. Just teacher centered teaching only, frequent lengthy lectures, only one-way presentation. So some of them will be teaching directly whatever the subject does have, but they are not interacting and they are not discussing, or they are not making a part of the discussion. So that is should be avoided. It should be two-way. Now even in FDP, some of the most of the experts are sharing their expertise and research, but none of the participants have not interacted. It is one way of presentation. So that should not be happening. So demonstrator or course style shows knowledge, includes activities and demonstrations. So you have to mingle them, you have to make them as groups and then involve them so that you can have some knowledge, or also you can have a leadership qualities can be observed among the students. Facilitator or activity promotes self-learning. Sometimes, whether it is in the book or not, just to give a topic, ask them to read at home or search engine and then try to come up with the preparation of that particular topic. Naturally, the people will be knowing, so can I see this concept in the textbook, or can I search in the search engine? They will be coming with the innovative ideas. Now, for example, I have given an assignment. The assignment usually the common thing, which questions will be given and answers will be prepared by 1 or 2 persons and will be copied and submitted. So now in my principles of management I teach, I have given an assignment innovative way. You have to identify any one particular industry, and then from the beginning to the end, you have to prepare a report. When it was started, what is their logo, where it is located, how many number of workers are there, how many patents they have, and then how many number of workers are working, how many branches are there any franchises. Like this, about an industry, I asked, all the 60% have been given 60 different industries, not by me. They have their own selection. If there is any repetition, I ask them, first come, first serve. The second person who has opted the same industry has to change on his own, and then they have submitted the assignment now to mail only, because it's a pandemic season. That's the reason why I asked them to submit. It's only copy, cut and copy about, but I have astonished to see some of the assignments with a variety of knowledge presentation. So that is the way you are supposed to inculcate the habit of doing. So one of the 2 or 3 girls have come forward, sir, we have learned so many things from this, because I was interested to work in that particular industry. Now I could able to get information about this, and I'm very happy to write this assignment. Yes. So like this, delegator or group style, best for lab activities. That is, this one will be working about. Hybrid or blended style, blended the teacher's personality and interest with the students' needs. So you have to create like this. So these are the 5 stages. Now, what are the stresses upon a teacher? First example, you will be asked to prepare a lesson plan, and then you have to submit. So you will be having stress, what to teach, how to teach, what are the basic concepts we are supposed to teach. shall we go in the order or shall we go in the way which you want? So for that, you need to have better planning. So lesson planning is most important thing. Accountability of a student performance. That's also because we will have mid-examination, you have to evaluate, you have to submit the marks, you have to know why the performance is less like this. Classroom management and discipline is most important. Every one of you may be knowing all these things. Supervisory role, extracurricular activity, conducting and monitoring. Sometimes by giving innovative way of teaching, you will be getting this. Taking work home, that is very bad. Try to avoid taking home to work. Complete the work at home and then relax at home so that you can prepare well for the next class. Difficult students, there may be some students which may not be following. You announce and then try to ask them to contact you at your workplace and then clarify their doubts. Lack of administrative support, okay? Pressure from parents, because some of the parents may be contacting you as a mentor and they'll be telling the problems. So these are all stresses that job uncertainty. So there may be some problems because you may be continued or not. So we have to look after some other job like this ongoing learning. Nowadays, we have to attend so many seminars like this. So teachers evaluation, teachers feedback, and that is also one of the stress for causing the. Sometimes there may change in the curriculum. So you are teaching that particular subject from several number of years and you got a hold on this and you are satisfying the students, you had job satisfaction. Suddenly that particular subject is removed and you have been allotted new subject. That also creates stress among the teachers. Then major causes of stress. So what are the causes here? Career concern, role ambiguity, rotating work shifts, then role conflict, occupational demands, lack of participation in decision making, work overload. These are all the problems or causes of the stress. So how to overcome, we'll discuss in detail. Now see, even teachers burnout. Why? Because lack of recognition. Sometimes you may not be given promotion and the youngsters might have given promotion. Don't. You do your duty, left to God, and leave it to God, then God will take over. So if you have been closed one room, that is one door, thousands of doors or hundreds of doors are open for you. So don't think that there's a only path you are supposed to excel. If one of the senior researcher, an experienced person has told, if one door is closed for you, there are number of doors open for you. Think in the direction, you'll excel in the other ways. So assessments, parents, curriculum changes, evaluations, administration, student behavior also will be a headache for the most of the teachers. So now how to control this academic stress? These are the simple things which you are supposed to know. Whenever you are feeling stress, now for example, when you are going to the college, before that, how many classes I have today? So what are the topics I want to discuss? Make a list and then make a chit on this. So these are the topics I am supposed to cover. So these are the examples I have to show, or these are the things I want to discuss in detail. Like this, if you have a list, then I have to attend some meetings at 3 o'clock so that after the class hours, I have to prepare something so that I can go and effectively present in the meeting. Like this, if you have a diary of this, then you will not forget and you will not be scolded by the management or higher ups. So external support. Yes, you need to have external support means you have to support others. Naturally, others also will support you. Regular exercise is most important. Even the meditation, it's doing yoga or going for a walk will also makes your mind very cool. Yoga and meditation will also helps in all aspects. Because of 20th syndrome, everybody is busy always. Everybody has 24 hours. Only thing is how effectively you are using your 24 hours is most important. So the effective planner will solve the stress problems. So now you'll be having stress and you have burst meal. So therefore, whenever you have something, even during meals time or taking lunch time, you'll be always thinking about what is going to happen. How should I teach? So this is a new subject for me. No. Because of your experience and expertise, you can manage any type of subject. Only thing is you should have preparation. That's most important. So people will not prepare just like that. They will go home and then they'll come and enter into the classroom and then they don't have time to share the knowledge. Avoid junk food. That's most important here. Praise the nature. Yes. So to overcome your stress, just go and sit for a while in the park or in a temple, close your eyes and stay for a while. That positive atmosphere will make you to burn out your stress or lower your stresses. So some of the stresses which can be relieved by this way. Now, coping scale for adults. Talk to others, give each other support. This is most important. So whenever you are in stress, in order to be away from that particular thinking, you thank others and also you appreciate others and then you discuss your problems with others so that your stresses will be reduced by 50%. Develop a plan of action. Just now I told you, you should have a plan of action for every day. And also it should be short term, long term, or medium plans. Put effort into your work. So whenever you want to be appreciated by students, you have to prepare. Then you yourself will be appreciated after the class. Yes, I have done or I have taught very well in today because of your preparation. If you prepare earlier, then naturally you will have more topics or more points to discuss. Worry about what will happen to me. Don't forget about this. God is great. He has written everything, just like say Karma Siddhantam. So they will have the thing written on your fate. So that is going to happen. Don't think too much what is going to happen tomorrow or what is this like this. Improve your relations with others. That's most important. So daydream about two things. Now see, the relation between Sivaramakrishna and myself is great. That's the reason why I asked him, he has accepted. Even all the experts have not put up any effort. With one person, I could able to get three persons like this. So one of the expert who is going to attend now, he is Mr. Sudhakar Sharma. I have contacted him for his appointment. He has suggested two other persons, Dr. Tata Narsingh Rao and R. Vijay. They are scientists of higher grade of G category. Naturally, you will not get an appointment to talk to them. Because there is a link, I am able to get three persons. Now I contacted Ravi Shankar, who is a very good youngster, but in spite of that, I could get his appointment through my friend Solomon Raj. So I contacted him. He has suggested two more persons, and then naturally you will not get experts from there. But he himself has called Srinivasulu Garu. I'll help you in this regard, and he has contacted and he has given me those slots. So that is the way. Actually, I was not able to finalize the topics, but one person has given an innovative thought how to get it. What are the things? Which are the areas you are supposed to do this? Immediately within 3 days, you believe it thought I could finalize the schedule of all the experts. I have 3 or 4 extra persons I could able to get it. So that is, be free and then cool. Try to think of it. You will get it. Daydream about how things will turn out well. So you have to think positively. Yes, I am going to attempt this one. I'll succeed. Naturally, you are going to get it. That's one positive way of looking at it. Find a way to let off steam. Okay, cry, drink, sleep, take drugs like this. So go to meetings which look at the problem. Whenever you want to learn, let's say 3D printing, you want to learn. So you attend seminars, you attend YouTube lectures, then naturally you will get an insight about the subject. Then you can develop, or you attend seminars and international conferences. By that, you will be getting the knowledge. So next, coping continues here. Consciously block out the problem. So whenever there is a problem, you have to try to come out of the problem within no time. So don't make it confuse you and make others confusion. Okay, blame myself. Yes, this is the mistake I have made myself. How to correct it? That way you have to think. Don't let others know how I am feeling. Whenever you are entering into the work or a job environment, don't show your face gloomy and always cheerful, so that others also will be attracted and they'll be sharing, and then they'll be coping with your ideas, and then they will encourage you. Look on the bright side of the things and think all that is good. Always you think positively, good aspect. Don't rub. Whenever any person is criticizing, just leave it and then go ahead. So like this, ask a professional person for help. That's the reason why we are conducting FDP, and ask you to ask some doubts, the experts, share something, so that you will have an expertise or knowledge will be gained by you. Make time for leisure activities. These are the things. Now, 4 levels are there in coping methods: remove, not allowing, and that is then developing proficiency, seeking diversion. So whenever developing proficiency, for example, if you want to be more effective in the classroom, try to read more number of books, collect the information from different sites, and then go with the preparation. You will be the master in that particular class, and everyone will appreciate, because you have plenty of knowledge. You have referred so many books and sites. You have collected the information. You have presented them. Naturally, there will be an appreciation from all the students. And there is one saying, 5 F's to balance your life with them. Faith, you should have faith in yourself, first of all. So faith in you makes you think positively. If you don't have faith, that is, I'm not going to be able to do this work. First, you should have faith that, yes, if I take this work, I will complete this particular job without any default or without any failure. That will solve the problem to more than 60%. So your willpower is most essential for solving the issues. Fitness, your health, your self-image, you must be relaxed, then you can do the things effectively. Financially, finance, work, self-growth. Yes, in 20th century or in Kali Yuga, everyone needs finance. Yes, you have to have financial levels. For that, you work better. God is there to help you in other aspects. Friends, you make many friends, more friends, interact with them, know what they are doing. From that also, you can get some knowledge, so that you can choose the path to get the money. Family, so you have to maintain a family, and then you have to be close with the family and then interact with them. Some tips for the family: eat together at least once in a day, have a family meeting once in a week or once in a month, go on trips together, go to temples, go to some other place, and then go to the relative's house with group, so that you can enjoy. Visit family, friends together, form and work on family goals, pray together. Always makes the family and also your group very effective. Now, another important technique to control the stress is ABC strategy. A is awareness. You should have full awareness about whatever the topic or domain you are choosing. You should have full control or full knowledge about that. Then only you'll be active in that case. Then balance. You should have positive and negative stress balance. And already I showed in the last class, there are curve versus performance versus stress. There is a limit, there is a stress you should have, then only you can succeed. If it is beyond that particular level, you'll be going under depression. So that is most important. Then C is control. What can you do help yourself combat the negative stress? So whenever you feel stressed, you should evaluate yourself, and then how to overcome the stress, how to be active, how to be positive, what made, or which are the reasons. So you question yourself, then you will overcome that particular stress. So how to handle stress of teachers? Workout priorities. Time management is most important for all the teachers. You may be knowing time management matrix. Just go to any website, you type time management matrix. That will help you to be preparing a priority list for you for a day-to-day life for your lifetime. So identify stress situations and what are the reasons, think before, and then go on like this. Now, stress management for teachers, one activity I'm going to give you just 3 minutes for discussion because you don't have time. Discuss among your group members following questions, share your views, that will be there for you. So what is stress? When people feel little stress, when people will feel greater stress, you should evaluate yourself. So what is stress? Why you are going to? So stress is essential to some extent for anything to be solved. That is most important for everyone to keep in mind. Then feel little stress, then only you can solve the problem or to manage the situation. If the stressing exceeds, then you will be under more pressure. Naturally, you will be go under depression. So now, for example, this activity I'm supposed to conduct for 5 minutes. List out the things which keep it stress by a teacher at a workplace, but I don't have time. That's the reason why I'm unable to discuss with all of you. Okay. Then we would have, now what are the stresses upon a teacher? Already I have discussed this particular topic. Now, another activity is volunteer some stressful experiences or incidents and explain how you feel and work under stress and pressure. If I would have given the time to conduct this activity, many of the teachers will share the experiences, how he or she has overcome that particular condition. So, for example, you had an argument with a student in the classroom. Then how you have addressed, how you have solved this particular problem, or meeting with the principal, or meeting with the head of the department, or meeting with the same student outside the classroom. Like this, if you have that experiences, if I had conducted this activity, many of us might have come across some solution to tackle the situations in future. So because of the lack of time, I'm unable to complete. Okay, this is most important in regarding to the behavior, fight or flight. According to this, fight is to battle with the stress causing factor. So you have to fight and then come out of the stress by one way or other. Then flight, that is, you are escaping out of the situation that's not essential. You are moving away and then you will be coming out of that particular stress awakening factor. So now, how to reduce the stress? Learn to plan, recognize, talk out to your problem, share your problems, discuss with the problems, and then decide to be positive always. Change your environment, change your surroundings, do exercises, do meditation or yoga. This is the most important stress relieving factor. Say no. Try to make yourself to say no. Avoid people who are causing stress to you and be away from them so that you will not be entering into the stress levels. Thus, stop stressing, start living. This is what I want to share. So then thank you very much. Okay. So this is what I want to tell today. So I wanted to conduct some activities. The time was not permitting. That's the reason why I could not conduct activities here. The activities will make you the people to interact. If you interact well, there will be solutions for all the problems which we are going to have in the day-to-day life. That I wanted to discuss, but I don't have time. That's the reason why. Now, thank you very much. Now, I invite Dr. Sudhakar Sharma Garu from RCI because already he is in the meeting. Now, I invite Sudhakar Sharma. He is also my classmate at MTech CAD Camp at JNTU Hyderabad. So he was my classmate, and because of him, I could able to convince Dr. Tata Narsingarao Garu and also Vijay to be the experts for this FDP. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. Please join us, sir.
Aditya?
Yeah, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Srinivasulu Garu, thank you very much for your...
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Do you have any problems in sharing, sir?
Yeah, that's what, sir, I'm trying
Just
actually.
click that my presentation, sir. Share. I am
fine,
presenting, no? You double click it, sir. Double click it.
Aditya will be introducing the speaker.
1 second, madam. 1 second. Click it, sir.
Yeah, here your entire screen window and
Entire screen, sir. Entire screen.
Entire screen. Yeah.
Entire screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You will be getting
Share
a box.
now. Yes,
In
sir.
that again, small box will come.
Yes, sir.
That click
Yes,
it,
sir.
sir. You will get
Yeah.
share. Share.
Yeah.
Share has come.
Share, the button is not activated, sir.
You click that inside box, small box again.
Oh,
Entire
now it
screen
came.
lo inko chinna box
Yeah,
is
yeah.
sir. Adi click
Yes,
cheyandi,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Now share button. Yes. Sudhakar Sharma is presenting, sir. Yes. Vinu, na presentation తీసేస్తాయి.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Please, మీరు hello, sir.
Sir,
Yeah, madam. I think
it is not visible, sir. Presentation.
yeah, it's not visible, madam.
Okay. Sir, did you use full window or what type of presentation, sir? Or new
This is a PPT
full screen or
presentation, madam.
other? Sir,
Entire screen, sir. Entire screen on.
Entire screen it has come, sir. Yeah.
Yes. Now you open your PPT, sir. Now
PPT.
Fine, sir. Yeah.
open your PPT.
Yeah.
It's open.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now it
Yes,
has
sir.
come, sir.
Now is it fine, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So go to full screen, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Go to full screen.
Yeah.
Slideshow. Now it's good, sir.
Fine,
Now,
sir.
Aditya will introduce Dr. Sudhakar Sharma to the participants. Aditya. Aditya.
Yes, sir. He's there, sir. He's joining.
Madam. Aditya introduce cheyamani cheppandi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's joining. He's some network issue on his side.
Hello.
Am I audible now?
Aditya, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry for the technical glitch.
Aditya.
Yeah. Am I audible, ma'am? Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for the technical glitch, ma'am. There's a technical error with the microphone. It's my immense pleasure to welcome Sudhakar Sharma, sir, to the FDP. Welcome to the FDP, sir. Sir is presently working as Scientist D at ARC Hyderabad, Department of Science and Technology, Hyderabad. Sir is a graduate of College of Engineering, Usmania University, and Masters from JNTU, Hyderabad in Mechanical Engineering. Sir has played a crucial role at ARC in developing heat pipe sinks, heat pipe based solar cooking device, heat pipe based cabinet electric cooking devices, heat pipe based bunker heater for the army at cold places. Sir has designed and fabricated an artisan type of mechanical milling for the powder milling and in and alloying in powder metallurgy. Sir has set up an indigenously developed hot extrusion facility at ARCI, which operates at 1100 megapascal loads to consolidate powder into solid material, especially for ODS alloys. Sir has established also the electrospinning lab at ARCI for production of nanofibers from polymers. Sir has developed chromium interconnect material for solid oxide fuel cells through powder metallurgy route. Sir has also developed nanoboron powder through a cryo-milling process for propulsion applications for DRDO. He is principal investigator and co-investigator for many such sponsored projects. Sir has patent to his name and is the author for many reputed journals. So research areas include powder metallurgy, mechanical alloying, synthesis of nanopowder by cryo-milling, and production of nanofibers through electrospinning. I welcome you to this FDP, sir. And I think the gap between the industry and the theoretical aspects we teach can be very well covered through this lecture. And we hope that there will be a wide scope of research through this presentation for all of us, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. And sorry for the technical glitch, sir. There's an error in the microphone, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome to the FTP, sir. Thank you, sir. You can take over the session, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Aditya, and thank you, Dr. Srinivasulu garu, and thank you to all the organizers for giving me this opportunity. And today's my topic covers 2 parts. Part 1, propulsion grade nanoboron by cryomilling, its preparation and characterization, and another part is applications of electrospun nanofibers. Sir, could able to, I am audible, sir? Hello?
You are audible, sir.
Yeah, fine, sir. Yeah. So as Dr. Srinivasulu said, I am from International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials. It's a research institute, Department of Science and Technology. I am working there as a scientist geek. Now, my first topic is propulsion grade nanoboron by cryomilling, its preparation and characterization. In this topic, I cover the importance of a nanoboron. What's the importance of a nanoboron? Why we are using nanoboron for the propulsion system, and how we are producing this nanoboron. So we have, that means I would like to explain about the cryomilling and its process parameters. And after producing the nanoboron, then we have to characterize the nanoboron using different characterization techniques. I will show you all the results with the various characterization techniques in my coming slides. After characterization of a nanoboron, then we have to check the performance of a nanoboron with the micron size boron. First, why we are producing this nanoboron? That performance is assessed with the other characterization techniques comparing with the micron size boron. Then after that, after producing and after checking the performance, then we have to make it air stable. After producing the nanoboron, if we leave as it is, it gets oxidized. For that, we need a proper coating. And after that, finally, what we want is a missile fuel. For that, we have to disperse this nanoboron into a hydrocarbon fuel. These are all about I am going to cover. First, the importance of a nanoboron. Nanoboron is used as a slurry fuel in missiles. That means it is a fuel additive in hydrocarbon fuel like JP10. If we use as a, right now presently we are using JP10 as a fuel, it is in a liquid form. With this we are not getting enough combustion. To improve the combustion, we are using the solid elements like boron into the fuel, and we are making it as a solid fuel. This slurry fuel is used in a missile AGM-129 ACM missile by NASA, and they have successfully tested this one, and with this the range of the missile increased from 10 to 30%. That is an advantage with this nanoboron. So as I said, the reason for using this nanoboron is it has the highest volumetric heat production. With the specified volume, we can have highest heat production. We will have highest combustion. For the boron, the volumetric combustion energy is 158 megajoules per liter, or if we say gravimetric, it is 58 megajoules per kg. So that is the heat production rate of the boron. So not only heat production, but also to overcome the problems of ignition delay and burning time. If we use the micron size boron, then we will have ignition problems. To overcome that, we are going for a nanoboron, and after that, overall it improves the thrust of a boron, thrust of a missile. That's what we need, improving the thrust. And one more advantage with this nanoboron is it can be easily dispersed into a liquid fuel called JP10 fuel. This is all about the nanoboron. So nanoboron is used as a slurry fuel in missiles to improve the range of a missile. So in this work, overall process is first conversion of the micron size boron to a nano size by cryomilling. It's a cryomilling. And after that, after producing the nanoboron, then we will give the protective coating to make it air stable. And after making air stable, and we mix this one into a hydrocarbon fuel like JP10. For that, it should have the dispersion stability. It should have the dispersion stability. For that, we will disperse this nanoboron. For that, what we have used, that I am going to cover in my next slides. The reason going for this cryomilling is, what's the principle behind this cryogenic temperature? The cryogenic temperature, so at cryogenic temperature, material transits from ductile to brittle. Few materials that depends upon the crystal structure and its properties. So like BCC Fe3Al at liquid nitrogen temperature, or even at room temperature also, it has a brittle fracture. If we compress it, then I'm sorry, give me a minute time, some disturbance is coming. Yeah. Sorry. Hello, sir. Srinivasulu garu. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Cryogenic temperature. Cryogenic temperature makes the material brittle and accelerates the fracture process. Here in cryomilling, this is the cryomill what we have at ARCI. So the cryomill consists of a vessel, and inside the vessel we will fill the powder and balls, and we will pump the liquid nitrogen into the vessel, and then we apply the energy through a rotor by a motor, and while applying the energy, the powder particle is subjected to high energy collision by the balls, and because of the collision and because of high energy application, the powder particles fracture, and because of liquid nitrogen, the powder, whatever the boron is there, that's that accelerates the fracture, and finally the nano-sized particles. This is about the cryomilling. The mill what we have at ARCI, we can produce 250 grams of a nanoboron per day in with the one type of vessel. With another type of vessel, we can make 1 kg of a nanoboron per day. So advantages of with this cryomill is it accelerates the fracture process. Because of liquid nitrogen, material transits from ductile to brittle. If it is a brittle material, it will become some more brittle and accelerates the fracture process. And after making the boron to nano size, because of the large surface area, it easily gets oxidized. To avoid, but in this case, we can prevent the oxidation. The reason is we are milling the powder in a liquid nitrogen, that is a nitrogen atmosphere. So we can avoid the oxidation. And one more problem with this nano boron is because of the nano size and because of high energy application, it's a pyrophoric material. After milling, it catches the fire. So handling is difficult, but in this case, in this type of mill, as we are using the liquid nitrogen, we can we can handle it easily. And overall, this is a simple process. If we use like a CBD, like other SHS process, if you use RF plasma process, they're all large setups. So it's a costly process, but this is a simple process and economical process. This is about the cryo milling. And here the process parameters are, as I said, in the vessel, we will fill the balls and powder. So here we decide ball to powder ratio. That means if we take 1 kg of powder, we use 10 kg of 10 kg weight of balls. And another process parameter is milling time, number of hours. And one more process parameter is rotor speed, that is RPM. These are the process parameters. So using these process parameters, we optimize the process parameters to produce the nano boron to the least particle size and to the least contamination. So here we can see with the increase, we can see the graph here, that is a milling time versus average particle size. Average particle size here is determined by the DLS technique. That's called a dynamic laser scattering technique. With that, we have measured the average particle size of the cryomilled nanoboron. So with the increasing the milling time, there is a decrease in particle size, and with the increase in ball to powder ratio, that is 10 BPR means 10 ball to powder ratio. I'm sorry?
Post probation company.
I'm sorry? Yeah. This is 10 BPR means 10 ball to powder ratio, 10 kg of balls and 1 kg of powder. 15 BPR means 15 kg of balls and 1 kg of powder. So like that, 10 BPR, 15 BPR, 30 BPR and 450 RPM, 30 BPR, 300 RPM. With increasing the ball to powder ratio, the particle size is coming down, and with increasing the milling time also, particle size is coming down. At the same time, with increasing the speed, that is from 300 RPM to 450 RPM, the particle size is increasing, slightly increasing. Why? Because with the application of higher energy, the particle supposed to decrease, but here it is increasing. The reason is because of high energy, the particle is agglomerating. I will show you why it is only agglomeration in my next coming slide. Through the XRD techniques, we have analyzed that this is agglomeration only. And so here, with the increasing the energy, we can reduce the particle size. At the same time, we have some problems also. The problems are the contamination, the tungsten contamination from the balls and the iron contamination from the vessel. So we have to optimize the process parameters such that least particle size and least contamination. That is, the scientist or investigator must trade off between the particle size and the contamination. So with that, here we can see in the next table, that is 30 ball to powder ratio 300 RPM, 15 300 RPM, and 30 BPR 300 RPM, 30 BPR 450 RPM. For that, the particle size by DLS, the dynamic laser scattering techniques. With that measurement, particle size for 10 BPR is 337 nanometer, and for 15 BPR it is 292 nanometer, and for 30 BPR it is 96 nanometer, and for 30 and 450 speed it is 262 nanometer. With increasing the ball to powder ratio, particle size is coming down, but with increasing the speed, particle size is slightly higher. So at the same time, this is one type of measurement. We have also measured the particle size using the BET technique, that is measuring the surface area in a meter square per gram. So with that we have estimated the particle size, and the particle size for the 10 BPR is 110 nanometer, and for 15 BPR it is 71 nanometer, and for 30 BPR it is 56 and 65 nanometers. So if we see here, for 30 BPR 300 RPM, tungsten contamination is 1.17%, and for 30 and 450 BPR, tungsten contamination is 4.63%. That means here the contamination is happening. At the same time, for these two process parameters, that is 30 BPR 300 RPM and 30 BPR 450 RPM, iron contamination is also 0.16% and 0.22%. So, to avoid the contamination and to have the least particle size, the optimized process conditions are 15 ball to powder ratio, 300 RPM, and 9 hours of milling, and at 86 degree Kelvin, that is minus 287 degrees centigrade. We can get the almost all 290 degrees centigrade with the liquid nitrogen. So with these process parameters, we have optimized, we have produced the nano boron with the particle size of by BET it is a 71 nanometer, and by DLS it is a 292 nanometer. Why the particle size is more in DLS technique is DLS technique measurement is a hydrodynamic size determination, that is there also in solvent, the nano boron particles agglomerate with each other, it slows to slightly higher dimension. That is the reason by DLS the particle size is more. After that, then we have measured the chemical composition. We have determined the chemical composition using the ICP technique, that is inductive coupled plasma techniques, before milling and after milling. Before milling, the composition of the powder is boron is 98%, and tungsten is less than 0.05, and iron is also less than 0.05, and magnesium is 0.4, and before milling the oxygen is 1.47%, and nitrogen is 0.07%. This is 9 hours of milling powder with the optimized process parameters. Another one is, that is 9 hours of milling and 15 BPR and 300 RPM. With that, after milling also the boron content is 98%. Tungsten, there is no tungsten contamination. Why? Because in case of other parameters, there is a tungsten contamination is there, but here there is no almost all whatever contamination is there before milling, the same contamination after milling, tungsten content after milling. Iron is also the same, and slight variation in the calcium and the magnesium, and oxygen pickup also. Whatever the oxygen pickup is there, that is milling, it's not a significant, that is 1.47 to 1.72%, and there is no nitrogen pickup. Though we are milling the powder in liquid nitrogen, there is no nitrogen pickup. The reason is, at low temperature, diffusion of a nitrogen into the boron is very, very less, and it's almost negligible. That's why there is no nitrogen pickup in the milled powder. This is about the composition of a nano boron powder after milling. So here we can see the SCM images before milling and after milling. Before milling, the particle size is in the micron size range. It is a 1 to 3 micron size, whereas after milling, 9 hours of milling with the optimized process parameters, that is 15 BPR and 300 RPM and 9 hours of milling, it is less than 100 nanometer. So after that, we have checked the particle size distribution using the DLS techniques. But here the production of nanoboron particle size variation distribution is also more important. We should have the proper distribution. We may have very less particle size. We may have higher particle size. We should have the nano size distribution. So here we can see that is for 10 BPR, 15 BPR, 300 BPR, 30 BPR and 30 BPR, 450 RPM. We can see the distribution curves. For 15 BPR, the nano size distribution. That means almost all the particles are almost near size. So, and we can also see the powder size distribution at 3 hours of milling and 6 hours of milling and 9 hours of milling. At 9 hours of milling, we have a very narrow size distribution. That's what we required. So now these are the SEM images of the powders cryomilled at 3 hours, 6 hours and 9 hours. At 9 hours, the particle size is very fine and it's less than 100 nanometer. And phase analysis carried out for these milled powders at different BPRs, and with increasing the BPR, and we can see that almost all peaks are similar, but peak broadening is happening and peak intensity is coming down. And here the crystallite size was measured using this XRD techniques, and the crystallite size for all the powders are almost 15 to 25 nanometer. 15 to 25 nanometer, and the phase, that is a phase of a nanoboron, is a beta rhombohedral boron, and we can see the peaks before milling and after milling. Before milling and after milling, similar peaks. And this is a B. I think you are all from mechanical background. I think you may have some are material science, and you might have done many projects on material science also. I hope you can understand about this XRD. And these are all B003, B104, and B021. All these are all the crystalline planes. And phase analysis also carried out with the TEM SAD pattern. TEM is a transmission electron microscopy. With that, we can get this SAD pattern. With that, we can measure the D spacings. Measuring the D spacings, we can find out the crystal structure of the material. Here, with this SAD pattern, we determined the boron powder is in beta rhombohedral crystal structure. And here we can also see the peak intensity is coming down and the peak broadening is happening. That means the particle is becoming the nano size and nanocrystalline. And these are the, as I said, we use different characterization techniques to characterize the nanoboron. Here we are using the TEM to check the particle size and also to check the phase. We have checked the phase with the XRD, and here we are also checking the particle size with the TEM. This is a physical measurement. Here you can see the red marks of the particles that determines each particle size. Each particle size is less than 100 nanometer, and here the particles are in agglomeration condition, and so that's why that means all loose particles but joined together, looking as a large particles, but they are the small particles. That is a TEM image. So, another TEM image is the crystalline nanoboron. Here we can see the crystalline planes, that is the lines you might have seen atoms representation in the form of a lines, that is crystalline planes, and if we see the particular plane size, that is the crystallite, and its size is 15 to 20 nanometer, 25 nanometer. That's what we have decided with the XRD pattern also. Here also you can see the crystallite size for all the condition is 15 to 25 nanometer. In similar way, here you can see the size of this triangle is approximately is in the range of 15 to 25 nanometer. So here the boron is in crystalline form, and partially it's a crystalline. And if you see the next image, that is amorphous boron. Here we can see the atoms are arranged in a disorder. In case of a crystalline, it is ordered lines. In case of a amorphous, it is a disordered. Just I would like to explain why, because you are from mechanical background, so that's why you may not have the exposure to this techniques. That's why I'm trying to explain you about the crystalline and amorphous. And we see the sad pattern of the amorphous boron. It is a ring. We could not see the d-spacings, much d-spacings. We could not see the crystal planes. We see only the amorphous. So with that, the boron, cryomilled boron is amorphous and crystalline. The both phases it has. So after characterization of the nanoboron, then we have to check the performance of a nanoboron. Why? Because this nanoboron is used for the combustion of the missile fuel. For that, we have to check. Primary purpose of this this project is to check the performance of a nanoboron with the micron size boron. What to get the advantage of nano size large surface area. With this, what advantage we will get? For that, we have done TGDTA analysis, thermogravimetry and differential temperature analysis. With that, it is a graph of temperature versus thermogravimetry. That means a percentage mass gain. Percentage after with heating, there will be a mass gain. Why the mass gain? I will explain. Mass gain. You can see here the three curves. That is A, B, C. A is 3 hours milling, and B is 6 hours milling. It's a 374 nanometer, and C is 9 hours milling. The particle size is 292 nanometer. That means with increasing the milling time, the particle size is less, and with that the mass gain is more. Mass gain is more. So with the decrease in particle size, more mass gain. The reason is the finer the particle size, better the oxidation with the temperature. Better the oxidation. With that, the more mass gain. Oxidation means mass gain. So that's why more mass gain. We can also see the corresponding DTA curve. In DTA curve, if it is a mass gain, oxidation is happening means there will be a exothermic peaks. We can see the exothermic peaks for A, B, C. That is 3 hours, 6 hours, and 9 hours of milling. So, and similarly, we can see the TG curves for as received powder. That is 1 to 3 micron size powder. That is powder before milling, and after milling at 10 ppr, 15 ppr, and 300 rpm at 30 ppr, 300 rpm, 30 ppr, 450 rpm. So with increasing the BPR, particle size is coming down. That is, and mass gain is happening. That means more oxidation. So more oxidation, and if we can see the corresponding DTA curves, we can see the exothermic reactions at the corresponding temperatures. So with this, we can see the as received powder, that is micron size powder, has a has a linear curve. That means no mass gain. But whereas this nanoparticle of 96 nanometer, it has more mass gain and more oxidation, more mass gain. That means the powder is getting reacting more and oxidizing. So that's what we need in the combustion. So here we can compare micron size boron and nano size boron. Compared to micron size boron, nano size boron has better better combustion kinematics, and it's a better oxidation and better corresponding exothermic reaction. Here we can see at 108 degrees centigrade, while heating the nanoboron powder at 108 degrees centigrade, moisture is removing. We can see at 100 degrees centigrade one small peak, and at 537 to 1436 degrees centigrade, the large mass gain is there, and the exothermic reaction also can be seen in the DTA curve. That is the reason is the oxidation of the nanoboron, and at 1436 degrees centigrade we can observe the mass loss. That the reason is while heating the nanoboron at 1436 degrees centigrade, one is oxidation will take place, and another one is evaporation of the nanoboron. If evaporation of nanoboron is more than the oxidation, there will be a mass loss. That's what representing here, and that is showing the curve down. So similar peak we can observe at 1436 degrees centigrade exothermic reaction. So with this TGDTA analysis, we conclude that the mill powder's oxidation kinematics show that the reduction of the boron particle size from micron to nano size is a suitable approach for the combustion, for better combustion properties. And after producing the nanoboron, characterizing and checking the performance, we have to make it air stable and suspension stable. For that, we have to coat with the some chemical agent to avoid the oxidation. Why? Because we want a combustion during the missile firing, but not exposing to the air, and at the same time we should be able to disperse into the fuel. For that, we have used two types of chemical agents. One is oleic acid, and another one is trioctyl phosphine oxide. It's simply called TOPO. Using two milling techniques, one is a mechanical milling and another one is a reflex heating. In mechanical milling, we have mixed the boron powder with 0.1% of oleic acid in a planetary ball mill for half an hour. With that, we got enough coating on the boron powder. And another technique is reflex heating. In reflex heating, we mixed the boron powder into the JP10 fuel. We have also added 0.1% of TOPO, trioctyl phosphine oxide, and then we have heated up to 190 degrees centigrade. While heating, oil evaporates and again condenses at the condenser. Condensed oil comes down, like that the heating takes place, and after 6 hours of heating, enough TOPO is coated onto the boron, and I will show you. These are the TEM images of the TOPO coated boron. Here on boron particle, we can see the coating. I hope you could able to see the coating of the boron powder. So with this, we are making the boron powder air stable. Means even if we expose to the air also, it will not get oxidized. And after final objective is we have to make a slurry fuel for the missile. For that, we have used we have mixed the boron powder into the JP10 fuel without coating. You can see the first image. without coating, if we add the boron, it is settling down within half an hour. But if we add topo-coated nano-boron with 3% boron concentration, 5% boron concentration, and 10% boron concentration, it has the dispersion stability for 5 days. Still 5 days, it is in the suspension condition only. The boron is not settled down. And after 1 week, slightly settling started, and after 10 days, completely settled down. That means the topo-coated boron has the dispersion, that is a suspension stability for 5 days. That is enough for the operation. So with that, and one more is now in India we don't have the nano boron production facility, but if we purchase this nano boron from US Research in Nanomaterials INC, its cost is $790 per 100 grams. Whereas with our cryo-milled boron, we can sell this nano boron for 15,000 rupees for 1 kg. 1 kg boron, 15,000. So we have reduced the cost very to the large extent by producing the boron indigenously. And our boron purity is 98%, and 100 nanometer is less than 100 nanometer size. So, and overall, this part 1, my presentation covers the advantages of the nanoboron. Nanoboron is used as a slurry fuel in missiles. And so the process is conversion of micron size boron to nano size, and after that then we will make it age stable with the protective coating, and then we will disperse this coated nano boron into the JP10 fuel. And the particle size by DLS, it is a 258 nanometer, and BET surface area is 10.5 meter square. And here you can see we have checked the performance of the micron size boron and nano size boron. Finally, we dispersed this coated nano boron into the JP10 fuel. This is the overall work we have done, and this work was sponsored by Aeronautic Research and Development Board. It's a DRDO, Defense Research and Development. They have sponsored. We are very thankful for funding. We are thankful to them for funding this work. And based on this work, we have patented this process for producing the nano boron. And we have published this work in advanced powder technology. The impact factor is 4.2, and it's a very good work. So I am thankful to, we are thankful to ARDB, DRDO. And my second part of my talk is applications of electrospun nanoboron. Hello, sir. I think I am audible to you. Hello, sir.
Audible, sir. Audible.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. I hope everyone is following. Yeah, applications of electrospun nanoboron. Electrospun nanofibers. It's a nanofiber. I am working at the Center for Nanomaterials and dealing with the nanomaterials. So, so we have set up an electrospinning facility at ARCI. So with that, we are producing the nanofibers from the polymers with the fiber size of 3 nanometer to 1 micron size. That is 1,000 nanometers. And the principle of the electrospinning is here, as I said, electrospun nanofibers are from the polymer solutions. We fill the, we load the polymer solution into the tray. You can see the schematic diagram of a nano spider. We fill the solution into the tray, and in the tray there is a rotating electrode. It is a stainless steel electrode. While rotating, it is partially immersed into the solution. While rotating, it carries the polymer solution, and there is a film on the electrode, and another electrode, ground electrode, we can also see, and the voltage is applied between these two electrodes. Up to, we will apply the electrode voltage up to 80 kilovolts. It's a high electric voltage, and when the applied voltage reaches a threshold value of some 45 kV, then the polymer solution on the surface of the electrode that forms into a droplets, and droplet is charged. Charged particles has repulsion, and the repulsion, due to repulsion, the droplet is ejected as a fiber, and tries to travel to another electrode and ejected as a jet, and at the ground electrode there is a substrate material. We coat these nanofibers on substrate material. For example, polypropylene fabric. On that we coat these nanofibers, and nanofibers are collected onto the substrate. You can see the SEM images of the nanofibers coated on the polypropylene fabric. You can see this SEM image. Here the polypropylene fabric has micron size fibers. It's around 30 microns, whereas the nanofibers is around 200 to 500 nanometers. We can see the small fibers. These fibers are produced from this nano spider. The advantages of this nanofibers are the main advantage. It has a large surface area. Nano means large surface area, and the nanofiber mat has a high porosity and very small pores, and the diameter of the fiber is 50 to 1 micron, 1000 nanometers. And applications of these nanofibers are filter applications for automotives, and we can also use these nanofibers in battery applications, and some of medicinal applications, and some of the composites, even drug delivery. We can wide applications are there, and with the nanospider, what we have, we can produce nanofiber mat of a size 500 into 1000 mm in 1 minute. So we have a very good production facility at the ARCI. So you can see now I am explaining about the filter applications. As I said, electrospun nanofiber applications of this electrospun nanofibers. One application is the air filters. What's the advantage of coating these nanofibers on air filtration medium? The advantage is it improves the filtration efficiency. How the filtration efficiency is improved is, you can see the micron size powder, micron size fibers of the filtration medium. On that, if we coat the nanofibers, that is a small fibers, nanofibers covers the micron size pores of the base medium and traps the fine particles. So with that we can increase the filtration efficiency. And one more advantage is we can improve the dust holding capacity of the filtration medium. That means we can hold more number of dust particles. You can see here in the same area the micron size fibers and the nano size fibers. In the same area, the left figure is image is, we can trap only one particle, whereas in the same area, by reducing the fiber size, we could able to trap 9 particles. With that, we are increasing the dust holding capacity. We have two advantages. One is we are increasing the filtration efficiency, and another one is we are improving the dust holding capacity of the air filtration medium. So Fleet God Filters Private Limited, they have sponsored this work, and with that we got 50 to 800 nanometer fiber size, and we have coated on their filter mediums 0.1 GSM fibers. And then in the development, what we quoted is it's a PS6 nanofibers, nylon nanofibers, polyamide 6 nanofibers. In that development process consists selection of the polymer and solvent. We used PS6 polymer and formic acid as a solvent, and then optimization of the polymer concentration and optimization of the coating and verification of the diameter and verification of the optimization by design of experiments. It's a mathematical model, Taguchi experiments. So the achieved results are 55% improvement in filtration efficiency and 18% improvement in dust holding capacity. So, as I said, in the development process, we use different concentrations of the polymers to get the nanofibers, and with that, we used 8%, 10%, 11%, 12%, 13 and up to 18% concentration. We have used polymer solution. We got a very good fibers at 12.8% of PS6 concentration. So the polymer concentration is 12.8%, and we used 55 kV and 70 kV, and we have got a very good size distributions of the fibers. We have also used a fabric speed of 0.64 meter per minute and 1 meter per minute. With that also the fiber size is in the range of less than 200 nanometer. And distance between the in this electrospinning process, the process parameters are voltage and the distance between the electrode, polymer concentration. Here we can see the distance between the electrode is 110 mm and 110 mm, 140 mm and 170 mm. Here we can see the fiber diameter is less than 200 nanometer. And at 170 mm distance between the electrode, we have got the fiber diameter of 50 to 100 nanometer. More fibers are 50 to 100 nanometer. So with that, we have optimized the process parameter. We have checked the fiber diameters with the Taguchi experiments. This was done by one mathematical expert. So we have checked and optimized GSM is matching with the mathematical model. And these are the nanofibers coated on the cellulose medium. That is the filter paper. On air filters, the filter medium is cellulose material. On that, if we put this nanofibers, it covers the micron size pores, and it traps the very fine particles. Here we can see the filtration efficiency of a filter medium without nanofiber coating and with nanofiber coating. The blue one is without blue graph is without nanofiber coating, and the pink one is with nanofiber coating. So we have checked the performance at 4 micron size particles, so different micron size particles. So at 4 micron size particles means aerosol has the average particle size of 4 microns. So at 4 microns, the filtration efficiency of the filter medium without coating is 35%, whereas 35% efficiency. Whereas with the nanofiber coating, it is a 95%, 95%. So filtration efficiency has increased to 55% by coating the nanofibers, and the dust holding capacity also measured, and it is increased to 18%. So these are the advantages with the nanofiber coatings in air filters for automotives. And we have also measured the porosity of this nanofiber coatings using the pictometer, and we published this work in Journal of Engineered Fibers and Fabrics Fibers, and it has a very good citations. And another air filtration application is by coating nanofibers, we have increased the filtration efficiency and dust holding capacity. In addition to that, we have produced the core shell nanofibers using the syringe type of electrospinning. The core is a polyamide 6 nanofiber, and shell is a polyvinyl alcohol. In polyvinyl alcohol polymer solution, we added the nano silver and electrospun. With that, we got the nano silver particles on the surface of the shell fiber. So when we pass the air through this nanofiber, nano silver kills the bacteria. We get the bacteria-free air. This is one more application. This published in another journal, and so here we can see the nano silver particles on the fiber, and we have characterized the we have checked the polymers PA6 and PBA with the FTIR spectra, and we have also with the GTA we have checked the fibers, and this is about the air filter application. And one more application is medicinal application, that is a cartridge for endotoxin removal. This is a joint work of ARCI and Global Hospital, and here generally in hospitals 30% of patients die because of the sepsis, because of the endotoxins, by killed bacteria in the body or by medicinal effect. So if we can remove the endotoxins from the body, so we can save the patients. For that, now the commercially available endotoxin removal cartridges are chloromixin. So, but they are the micron size fibers. So we have initiated the work putting the nanofibers on the micron size medium, so that we can have a large surface area, so that we can couple more polymixin B. In this process, we produce the nanofibers. ARCI produce the nanofibers, and Global Hospital, that is GMERF, Global Medical Educational Research Foundation. It's a global hospitals wing. So they couple the polymixin B medicine to the fibers, and then we have tested the performance. So the polymixin B removes the endotoxins. So this is about the polymixin B coupling and electrospinning by ARCI, and polymixin B coupling by Global Hospitals. And we can see the fibers without polymixin B coupling, there is no fluorescence. The fibers with polymixin B coupling, there is a fluorescence. Fluorescence means endotoxins are binding to the fibers. That means endotoxins are removing. That's what we have arrived, and we have proven that endotoxins can be removed using these nanofibers. We are thankful to Global Hospital for their excellent cooperation. And here we can see the control sample and polymixin B coupled sample. We can see the very good performance. So this is all about the medicinal applications of nanofibers. So I have covered first topic about nanoboron by cryomilling, and second topic applications of electrospun nanofibers. One is filter applications, and another one is endotoxin removal. So these are all the applications of the nanomaterial. And now just I would like to show about a small video about ARCI. These are we work on.
Hello, Sudhakar garu.
Yeah, yes, sir.
ఆడియో రావట్లేదు. ఏం చేయాలంటే దాన్ని లింక్ ని గూగుల్ క్రోమ్ లో పేస్ట్ చేసి ప్లే చేస్తే వస్తుంది.
సార్
యాక్చువల్ గా లింక్ ఉంటది కదా, మీ లింక్
I could able to hear the audio, sir. I could able
మీకు
to hear the audio, sir.
అయిపోయింది, వదిలేండి. ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
Fine, sir. Yeah. Just I will show you. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions, please? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an enlightening session. Many of us are not aware of the process happening at cryogenic temperatures. You have given a good overview of it, and preparation and characteristics of characterization of nanoborons by cryomilling technique has been very well explained. And the trade-off between the least contamination and particle size has been explained, and optimized parameters has been the importance of optimized parameter has been laid down, and the process of electrospinning process of producing nanofibers has been explained very clearly, sir. And also its applications, such as its applications in air filters, and also very important application in medical field like removal of endotoxins in blood has been clearly been explained, sir. And it's very commendable and great job you're doing by reducing the cost of nanoborons for Indian industries, as well as the concept of removal of endotoxins, which has been collaborated with the global hospital, sir. It's a privilege to have you in our session, sir. And I thank you all once again, all the participants once again, for patient hearing, sir. And I'm handing over the session to the next speaker at 2:00, sir. And I'm requesting participants to be on the last session of our FDP, and link has been provided for the feedback sessions, and an examination will be held at the last session. So I give a mic to Vasu Srinivas, sir.
So thank you, sir. Thank you, Sudha Krishna garu, for joining us, enlightening about electrospinning and other activities which are carried out in the ARCI.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and then joining us. And also you have given a introduction to Dr. Tatarao garu and also Vijay garu, so that we got very good experts for this FDP on molecular manufacturing. We expect the same in future also, sir.
Yeah.
You have also given us permission for our students to do project work at RCI. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Let us grow together with the same collaboration, and we are going to organize an international conference shortly in next 2021. We expect the same cooperation for all of you, from all of you, sir.
Sure, definitely, sir. It's my pleasure to participate in this event, sir. I hope I tried my best, and I hope I explained to the participant properly, and they understood the concepts to their best. And thank you very much, Srinivasulu garu. If any questions are there, it's fine, sir. Otherwise, then thank you very much to all the organizers.
Participants, any queries for the participants? If you have any queries, you can post it, or else directly unmute your microphone and then interact with the sir. Sir is available. Yeah, please. If you don't have any questions, we'll close the session. Sir is busy, so that's why he will be joining this organization. Yeah, please. Any doubts? So I hope nobody is interacting, sir. Thank you.
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very much,
thank you very much, sir.
Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, an important announcement to all the participants. You have to give feedback about the program visiting the website AICTE Atal FDP. It's mandatory for all the participants to give the feedback about the program FDP on molecular manufacturing. This is most important, and it is mandatory for all the participants so that you will get the certificates. Otherwise, they'll be stopping the certificates. It's mandatory for all the participants to go to the website and give your feedback about the program. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. We'll meet at 2 o'clock. The next session is by Dr. John J. from DRDO, Scientist F. So he'll be coming at 2 o'clock. So please join us after your lunch. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.